Welcome to the Rock Fight, where we speak our truth, slay sacred cows, and sometimes agree to disagree. This is an outdoor podcast that aims for the head. I'm Colin, and today I'm recording this in a hotel room in Denver, where in just a few minutes I'll be joined by the Editor-In-Chief of Gearjunkie, Adam Ruggiero. But before we get to that, come back to the Rock Fight on Monday, where this week you'll get two-thirds of the Monday Boys. Producer Dave is sitting this one out. He's serving his one-game suspension for violating the podcasting union's performance-enhancing drug policy. Producer Dave. And hey, Apple Podcast listeners, we'd love if you'd leave us a review, rate the show, and leave a written review, and send us a screenshot of that review to myrockfight@gmail.com. We'll send you a whole batch of Rockfight open container and the forthcoming Gear Abbey stickers. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Rock Fight, Rock Fight, Rock Fight.
Today's episode of the Rock Fight is brought to you by Lems Shoes. Are you looking for shoes that offer both long-lasting durability and all-day comfort? Look no further than Lems. With a versatile lineup featuring over 30 thoughtfully designed styles, from minimalist sandals and rugged trail boots to vegan-friendly sneakers and laid-back slip-ons, there's truly something for everyone. Whether you're hitting the trail, traveling the globe, or strolling through town, Lems are built to move with you naturally and keep up every step of the way. Head to lemshoes.com to get your own pair today. Today's episode of The Rock Fight is presented by Oboes, who wants to share their love of hiking, and we want to help them by uncovering all the different reasons we love to take the long walk, including the following. Number one, because, bear spray, that's cheaper than a therapist. I don't really get that correlation, but I'm sure it's funny. Number two, you get to pretend you're on alone, even though you packed 6 granola bars. And number three, it's the only time that dehydration feels like an achievement. And number four, hiking means the Oboes Catabatic LT. The Catabatic has quickly become an Oboes favorite, and the LT takes the Catabatic collection to a whole other level with a lighter package, additional environmentally friendly materials. From fast packing to day hiking, the Catabatic LT is your new shoe of choice. And number five, this hiking appreciation moment is brought to you by Oboes of Bozeman, Montana. Oboes is the maker of premium quality footwear for the trail and the Cupid to the outdoor world. Oboes, love hiking. All right, a couple of months ago, the host of Open Container, Doug Schnitzbahn, and I took a look at the state of outdoor media and how things looked a little grim. While the print scene is showing exciting growth, the user experience that many of the websites outdoorsy folks have at their disposal sometimes isn't the best. And so you fast forward to this week, and I'm at the Outdoor Market Alliance Media Event in Denver. I've talked about this event at length on the pod before, but to refresh your memory, the format is pretty simple. PR agencies set up in 25 permanent showrooms that feature the vast majority of relevant brands in the outdoor industry to meet with media and pitch products and stories. A constant presence at many of these events that we attend, especially on the media side, is Adam Ruggiero, who is the Editor-In-Chief of Gearjunkie. If you've never met Adam, make sure you seek him out the next time you find yourself at a big industry gathering. There aren't many more thoughtful and insightful people working in our space who can hang with the biggest gear nerds, but also really get at the heart of a topic or issue than Adam. So before we went to the showroom for the second day of OMA, Adam sat down with me in my hotel room. Trust me, it's way less weird than it sounds, to talk about what's happening with outdoor events, the state of outdoor media, and what we saw at the Outdoor Market Alliance media event that got us both excited. So welcome back to the Rock Fight, where today we're talking outdoor media with Adam Ruggiero. All right, well, we are here in a hotel room.
Super normal, Colin.
With the Editor-In-Chief of
This really
Gearjunkie.
puts me at ease.
This is what we do. This is how we do all our podcasts at the Rock Fight. We're like, would you like to come to a hotel room with me?
This is how the sausage is made, in Colin's hotel room.
We're here with the Editor-In-Chief of Gearjunkie, an elite podcaster in his own right, Mr. Adam Ruggiero. Did I say that right? Is it Ruggiero?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's a Ruggiero.
Yeah, it's. I have tried to spell it phonetically, and I landed on ZH, which I think intuitively people turn into a J.
Yeah.
But yes, you said it beautifully.
Has that been your life, though?
Yes.
Ruggiero?
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero?
We are old enough that we grew up sitting in Phi Ed class in lines. We had our squads, and we had to do roll call. Never had my name pronounced correctly. Had it Ruggiero. Yeah. Everybody wants to move.
Hard G.
Here's what I don't get. Everybody wants to put the I before the O, so it's Ruggiero. And I think this is Cheerios marketing this Manchurian candidate. And
Fuck
it's just
you, General Mills.
Exactly. And we're all conditioned to I before E, but everybody wants to put
Yeah.
that I before the O.
Last names are weird. I've said this, I think, on the pod. People misspell my name all the time, and it's true.
How?
T-R-E-W.
It's a cool name.
No, but it's to the point. My father did this, and I adapted it when I say, "What's your name?" Colin True, True. I just spell it automatically now because people constantly want to make it something different.
Like True.
Trew, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, the spelling, but
Yeah.
everybody's pronouncing it.
They say it correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but if I'm saying it to someone, they don't
I
know
think
how
I have
to
a little
spell it.
harder than you here. I think you're trying to identify.
No,
I think
you
I have
had
a
it
little
way harder
going.
than me. I'm not complaining. I just think it's funny that the simplest names people still kind of mess up in a way, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're at the OMA event. Well, we're at the hotel at the OMA event. And outdoor trade events, kind of a much discussed, much scrutinized. I mean, pretty much since before COVID, right? It felt like it's been a thing. I tell everyone where we are right now, the Outdoor Market Alliance Media Event. It's maybe my favorite event to attend right now, just selfishly. I just really like this event. But my POV on these things is different than yours, given what you guys do at Gearjunkie. So, what's your 10,000-foot view on the current event landscape? I mean, do you and your team have everything you need and want to do from Gearjunkie's point of view?
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me thank you for being on the podcast. As somebody who has podcasted, I love it when the guest is like, "Hey, by the way, this is an invite. You were gracious enough to extend it. I
To
have
my hotel
imposter
room."
syndrome. I don't think I belong on the mic. I certainly don't belong in your hotel room."
This is exactly where you belong.
So yeah, no, thank you. You're crushing
Hey,
it,
man.
and I really enjoy doing the pod.
Love having you.
The question, if I recall correctly, is what do we think of the trade show or overall?
Just current event landscape. You go to a lot of these things.
I feel like it is lighter. It's less dense than it used to be. That's how it feels. And I started 10, 11 years ago, 2015, 2016, in the outdoor, quote unquote, outdoor industry, which we've also talked about, like this quote unquote small community.
This small $1 billion community.
I agree. At the risk of anybody who runs a different event being like, "Hey, wait a minute. This one has a special place in my heart because there's something organic. It feels like PR kind of spurred it. And PR is they're a unique component of the media mechanism. They kind of know everybody, but also don't necessarily always know each other. They know what everybody needs, right? They're facilitators. And this event it starts from a place of positivity and community, and then the business motives sort of overlay on top of that instead of
Right.
the other way around. Like, we have business to do and we can make friendship happen after that. This is the inverse of that. This is very sort of organic.
I like the description of it because I've had a hard time sort of quantifying why I like this event so much or why I think it's important. Like, Owen Comerford's here, and I said, "Hey, you should come to this," and he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, I couldn't just give him like an answer, like, "Well, because this is going to happen and it will be good." It was, well, I don't know. Every time I've gone to this thing, I've had these interesting conversations and good things have come out of it, and it's like the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, I wonder to what extent also just the actual physical venue plays into that.
I think that's where it starts.
Yeah, I didn't consider it until yesterday. Somebody, a friend of mine, Nate Mitka, who used to work at Gearjunkie, he's with Excel Outdoors and overseeing marketing with Kelty, et cetera. It's his first OMA, and somebody had asked him what he thought of it, and he's like, "I really like it." What he identified was that unlike all these other trade shows, you walk in and it's you and the person you're supposed to meet. There aren't other people milling around,
Right.
walking through, "Oh, excuse me, I got to reach this shoe over here and walk back." Like it's intimate. It's
Intimate's
natural.
the right word. And you can actually have real conversations.
Yes.
I had several yesterday where it was only 20-minute meetings, but like, to your point, we were alone in the room kind of thing. And it was just like, it kind of got at the heart of it. We were able to ask questions and get real answers
Yeah.
versus the big trade shows, which they're effective for their own reasons. And I want to ask you about Switchback in a second, but usually my experience is, "Oh, hey, Adam's here, man. Oh, hey, let me show you this thing. Great. What do
Yeah.
you think? Cool. What do you have coming up? Oh, you're working on that? Awesome. Tell you, let's connect after the show."
Yeah.
Right. And then you run off to your thing and I go to the next person coming into my booth. Right. We did mention Switchback though, the funny thing I think about Switchback at this event, even I mentioned it when my conversation with Christina Henderson the other day. I don't know how many hours of podcasts I put out about Switchback. People still come up to me and say, "Hey, what'd you think?"
Yeah.
So there's definitely a curiosity. You were there. What did you think of Switchback?
I'm inclined to like all events.
Yeah.
It's just I'm
It's in your DNA.
I'm wired that way. That's what I want. I'm assuming we both knew about Switchback for a while before it came to fruition, and I learned about it when I attended my first running event last year. And the running event is what had the buzz that I was hearing. I had never been there. We were in this post-OR reality where OR was happening, but it was definitely shifting purpose, market, all of that. And there was just this energy and buzz around the running event. And I mean, we all run, you know, I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm the core trail running reviewer, but I didn't think like it was a dance I was invited to. Like there are real runners out there, and I'm not what I would consider a real runner.
The Keystone booth is Brooks. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's like, you know, it's not quite the old OR world that we were used to.
So I had interviewed Christina Henderson once on the podcast, and she's like, well, you got to come check it out. You got to come check it out. And you don't say no to invites. You don't say no to invites.
That's why you're in my hotel room right
dude,
now.
Let me tell you. Dude, you're leaning into it too hard. You completely derailed.
Adam looks so good in my bed right now, guys.
So-
Let me. We're in a
is so
suite.
awkward.
We're in chairs. Everybody settle down.
So this is what it's like to be a guest on a podcast. A quick aside, still about Switchback though. I did something I'd never done before because I'd never seen it when signing up to attend a trade show event. Was when I signed up to come to the running event last November, December. There was a checkbox that said, "Would you like to make your contact information available for people to get a hold of you?" And I was like, I've always been available ahead of time, and then everybody wants to book. It's not me, it's Gearjunkie, right? Like they all want Gearjunkie's time, and I usually say yes to everybody. It's a madcap. And I was like, I had a freelancer, Craig Randall, way smarter than me. He was attending. He was going to do the boots on the ground work. I had been invited by Christina just to kind of get a feel for the event and talk. She had hinted about this Switchback thing that I needed to learn about. I didn't actually have to take appointments. So I decided, no, I don't need to be running booth to booth to booth. I just want to holistically go get a vibe for the event. If you've never had the pleasure of showing up at a trade show with nothing to do, it is a liberty.
It's great.
You don't realize how conditioned your mindset is when you go and your whole thing is like, I immediately got to start running. I got to run here. And you look forward to it. There's a high to running booth to booth to drink from the fire hose. But when you just go as like a person and watch people run about and decide where you walk in, and people do a double take because they had no idea you were going to show up, and then you can just talk to people. I cannot recommend that enough. Do not tell people you're going to show up. Listen, I'm so privileged. I got an invite to go. It's not like you can just roll into this friggin' thing uninvited. But I had this unique opportunity to do that.
But you got to see the show. I mean, that's the thing, right?
Because
usually there's two key roles to these events. It's like what you described, where you have to run from booth to booth, and your time is managed that way, and half the time is spent dodging people in the halls that maybe you want to talk to, but you're trying to get to your next appointment.
You do like the look over your shoulder halfway, say hi, and then immediately turn back.
I'll see you at the bar later, maybe if I'm not asleep. Yeah. And then, or you're the person in the booth, and I've been that role too, where you're like, well, this is where I'm going to be for the next 8 hours.
Dude, I've never done that.
Stuck here, and whoever comes in, I have to talk to them and all of that stuff.
Man,
and it's rough. Either one is rough in its own way. So when you do get the chance, and I've had this now, I've been fortunate, same thing, to kind of just roll in and have no obligations and just walk by and I'm going to judge this booth for a minute. Oh, you guys did a crappy job on that creative. I'm going to go over, oh, wow, these guys killed it over here. Why is that sales rep just sitting on his laptop not doing anything? It's really fun.
And so what's funny is that because I had that was how I approached this. I had a really holistic view of the running event, and I was, the running event this is
sick.
A shit, dude. I like this
event
a lot. Switchback, I was like, okay, couldn't see how, I couldn't quite delineate what Switchback was with the running event there because there was kind of some, signage semi-boundaries that were like, this is this, this is this. So it was really difficult for me to get my head around what is this switchback thing exactly going to be. And I think Christina did an interview afterward and super gracious, but I feel like I kept asking the same question, like what, and who and why.
What is it?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Just because otherwise, I hate being sold things. Like I assume things are multi-level marketing when somebody can't explain to me what it is they're trying to tell me in plain speak, right? And the more words it takes to explain a thing, or the more you talk around it, the less interested I am in whatever it is you're trying to get me to do. But the energy at the running event was so good. I was like, all right, cool. I was starving for this because there was no more outdoor retailer, because what I think I bring to the table is more the people aspect of this media industry. So I need that FaceTime. I need that connection with people. So I was like, sure, let's see what this switchback thing is about. I don't really know what to expect, but let's do it. Nashville, weird choice, but flying east instead of flying west, how novel. Let's do it.
Right.
I was listening to your podcast with Christina Henderson, the follow-up episode. I don't have anything positive or negative to say about the Gaylord Opryland.
Yes, you do.
No, dude. The best I can describe it is like you're now inside the Martian habitat.
It's like you walk through a time warp.
I have not been at a place like that, and it's an adjustment. It's a mental and emotional adjustment. Anybody who didn't go, you never need to leave.
I didn't.
Whatever you need. It's like
I stepped out of the
part
Uber
mall,
from the
it's
airport.
part convention center.
Yeah.
It's part adventure park. And it's the thing that really got me was the ceilings were so friggin' small. Yeah. I'm 6'3". It was like walking into one of those optical illusions where as you walk forward, the whole ceiling comes down. You're walking toward a tiny door. Like it was like, what? The event. Okay, so outside of being in this very strange, opulent place, this palatial.
I like that Christina did defend it to the death though on the pod. She's like, "Look,
yeah.
I'm going to defend the Gaylord." I'm like, "Hey, good for you," but man, it was weird.
It wasn't not a good choice, right? It's just
that's a
so
great way of
different.
describing it. No,
different.
And like I said to her, I get it. It had everything there that you needed, but it's just just a bizarre place.
To your point, it's forever memorable. Like it is going to be a thing.
You and I are going to be in the old folks' home, reminiscing on our trade show days. Like, dude, remember the Gaylord?
You have no idea. That's a beautiful thing. And for the 25th anniversary, maybe we go back, right? Like, let's get weird. There's 19 new wings, each with a different colored carpet. It'll be awesome.
We're just going to lean into it, go full shining. Kind of getting to the meat of it, though, right? So a couple of months ago, and you and I have talked about this a little bit, Schnitzbahn came on, and we were talking about, how the outdoor media scene is in a bit of a lull. I think we even called you guys out a little bit on that episode. I guess sorry now that you're sitting in my hotel room, but
I see we're leaving a point for me to respond here. Great.
Part of that came from a column written by outdoor journalist Maggie Slepian, for her own Substack, reflecting on the challenges of a writer in the outdoor space right now. So I was excited you were willing to come on the pod. I wanted to ask you, how are you feeling as the editor-in-chief of one of these sites about the state of outdoor media?
I've talked about this. As you well know, everybody asks.
Yeah, I'm not the only one asking this question right now.
No,
right?
yeah, exactly. And it's usually phrased differently, but I think implicitly what people are asking, like they ask me, hey, how are you?
You okay, bud?
And there's an inflection. It's not like, hey, how are you? Yeah, it's like, hey, there's a head tilt. It's like, hey, how are you?
How are you?
And I think
it's like your dog just died.
Yeah, and it's sort of vindicating in a way. It feels like, okay, it's not just me getting older. Things feel different. And it's difficult to put your finger on. What do I think of the outdoor media landscape? I have talked about this with so many people in the last day, and I think my answer evolves a little bit each time. I only compare it to what it was when I was starting and then coming up and gaining a reputation. So I'm inclined to say I don't like the overall change in the industry. The media industry, but also kind of the industry as a whole.
It's media in general more that this is broader than the outdoors, right? I mean, this is kind of
because we can't decouple. No creator can decouple themselves from also being a consumer and a reader of something.
right, especially in this regard.
Dude, and gaining information or entertainment, it's just it feels like it's nutritionally lacking on the whole, right? You get your macros, okay, but we're iron deficient. For some reason, we're just all information iron deficient. And I
love that.
I don't have a good answer as to why. I can point to things.
Yeah.
I had a really good conversation with Erica. I believe her last name is Zajo. And she, it was the same question. How you doing? Right? And I even asked, I did the same thing to her. I was like,
Right.
how are you? Because she's a freelancer.
She's a
I was
freelancer
like,
and just had a baby.
How you doing?
Yeah.
And at one point she expressed, I would really like to do more long form, more narrative, more in depth. And I hear that a lot. In fact, I get those drafts a lot, and I have to edit or go back to the author and be like, da da da. And part of that is because, I'm looking for my phone, like reading on a phone, reading digitally sucks.
Yeah, generally speaking, yeah, totally.
And part of it is because magazines, looking at the advertising in magazines is beautiful. It's a moment to pause.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of a visual delight. It's interesting. And then you can go on to the story. You can, like the advertising seamlessly integrates with the experience of reading the thing you want to read. And advertising on the internet, on sites like Gearjunkie, Outside, any of them, is obnoxious.
It's intrusive,
inherently
right?
obnoxious.
It's like,
it's like if you're reading the newspaper, somebody puts their hand in the newspaper and starts barking at you
Right.
about buying a vehicle, a make of automobile, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's really difficult. Like as a reader, I don't want to spend. Nothing about reading on my phone makes me want to stay or linger or ponder. It's like I got to get in, get what I need, and get the hell out.
Yeah.
And for a long time, Stephen Reginald and Sean McCoy kind of cornered the market because they were brief, they were honest, it was tangible, it was like first person, it was all digital, and it was in an internet and a medium that had not matured into the advertising underwritten monster that it is now.
Right.
It's not pleasant to be in the media landscape as a consumer, right? It's just kind of hostile. Unless, and we talked about this, unless you break that paradigm and you decide, fuck it, I'm going to cough up my hard-earned dollars because I like this publication, I like this author. I'm going to pay to read it and free them and me from the arm of advertising. I'm paying, like with anything else, you go to a store, you give them the money, they give you the thing, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Boom, done. It's wonderful.
The consumer is definitely the problem. It's two things. The money is a piece that probably we should have touched on and didn't in that conversation with Doug, because to your point, it's like, well, do you want it to be free? Well, then here's the hand in the middle of the article, like you just said. It's like, and now it's free. I don't want that. Okay, well, then it's $9.99 a month. Well, fuck that. I don't want to pay for this. So, like, what do you do? And people don't recognize that on the other side of that screen is somebody who spent time and energy, even if it is something as silly as like a listicle or something like that. Someone still did it, right? And unless you want to just go full on, hey, let's have ChatGPT write all our articles for us right now, there's money that needs to be exchanged in order for that to happen.
Yeah, and it cannot, I don't think it can go back to the way it was when we all think of the halcyon days of, man, it was fun.
And I think this is an old guy problem
gritty
too, right?
Yeah.
It's probably the whole like new outdoor media or new media, right? Which is, I guess I wouldn't say it's all user generated content, but it definitely crosses over to that. I mean, this is like, I think like Maggie's Substack was prescient because like she's like, I just want to write stuff. Right. And it's way harder for me to make money just writing stuff. Now, if you're willing to monetize your Substack, but which requires you to build the audience to do that, if you want to have a podcast, if you want to have a YouTube channel, and by the way, for the consumer, all those things might be better because I don't know what you do now. Like when I'm looking for something of like, oh, I'm curious about a piece of gear or a trail to go on or whatever, I'm going usually to YouTube first now, right? I go to these other mediums first, and I don't think till later maybe to go to some of the more, for lack of a better term, like kind of legacy kind of outlets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. There was a time when Gearjunkie could post a video of a drone flying through fireworks, and the entire it seemed like the whole
Did you
internet.
see the drone
read it.
video?
It was unbelievable. Right. And now I'll see an elephant run through a taco shop right before bedtime, and then just be like, "Oh, that was cool," and then go to the next thing. Colin, I've seen everything.
We have seen
nothing is
everything.
impressive. Nothing like it. What we compete with now. And again, I can't say it was better when. That's what every old person does is they shake their fist and it's like, it's better this way. It's different. It's totally normal for younger people. Like this is just, and their information comes from, when we talk about events, press trips, half of them are influencers or ambassadors or they are independent content creators. And they're the ones that are also creating the information stream that the readers we're after are getting their information.
Right.
And old farts like us understand or perceive the benefit of some sort of arbiter, some sort of media entity that is filtering, that is thoughtful, that is consolidating the wealth of stuff to be like, actually, this is the wheat from the chaff, right? Mm-hmm. And they hire good authors, they pay good freelancers, good money, ideally. And they're curating the voices. Like, this is a voice you need to hear. This is a voice you need to hear. We study this. We hear this a lot. This is a good voice. Whereas now, it's largely outsourced to an algorithm, right? And it's something that will delight. It'll keep your attention. Instead of like, we're talking about reading a whole story, like time on page. For the longest time, Gearjunkie wanted to break 2 minutes. It was like this impossible thing. We could never get somebody to stay on the page for more than 2 minutes. It's like on the average, it's like 158 or whatever. Now it's 20 seconds to linger on something for 20 seconds.
I got the gist of that. I'm good.
Dude. So overall, I am not stoked. I have not adapted. The media landscape has consolidated, obviously.
Yeah.
We talked about Mike Rogie earlier in the Mountain Gazette. I am encouraged that there are still some people doing independent journalism because I believe it is important. And I've referenced this to everybody in the "how you doing" response. I'm gonna get his name wrong. I know him. Caley Fritz,
yeah. Escape Collective.
Yeah,
he's been on the show too.
And the story that he wrote in the wake of all the outside editors asking for the names to be removed from the masthead.
It was a brilliant.
Was it there's a wildfire
piece.
Sweeping through outside or something like that? It was to that effect. I cannot recommend that enough people read that because it pulls the veneer back and shows people this is really what's going on from the content creator's perspective, right?
Right.
I mean, Robin has a motive and a rationale for his decisions and all sorts of, stressors and obligations none of us know about that, justify his job and his decisions and whatever. But as somebody who came up in journalism and was a freelancer for a short time and then got lucky and has been an editor and learned blah, 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 the way Caley used the metaphor of a wildfire sweeping through, devouring old growth, seemingly devastating an entire ecosystem, but also in its wake, leaving little opportunities for little upstart shoots to come through. Yeah. It was so beautiful and apt. And the reason I recommend it to people is because it's like you don't necessarily know a pain you've been having or living with until somebody applies pressure to it and be like, this is where your pain starts.
100%.
And he just nailed it.
I think it was one thing because he was on the show and we spoke, I think it was off mic, but he was mentioning like he doesn't, want to weigh in on what's happening at outside. And so I know that him to then, I don't think he'll mind me saying this like that. I know that then him to write that was like, okay, I have to say something. He really felt the need to do it.
Yes.
And this conversation and kind of me coming to these conclusions and asking these questions and Kaylee's piece, I think, plays a role in this is if I've been unfair and maybe some of my criticisms about outside and even Gearjunkie too, it's more like I'm just confused, right? Because some of these things just don't line up with how the content sometimes and everything. I'm like, I just like, why are you doing this when it feels like this is what should be done? But without also recognizing, to your point, this is the you're not seeing the wildfire, but it's the wildfire blowing through in a way. And look, we now live in a media landscape, and we learned this after our last presidential election, where the most powerful media outlet is a guy named Joe Rogan who has a podcast. And he doesn't have a media company. He isn't paying journalists to go out there. He is a guy with a podcast. And it's the most influential thing going in media right now. And that's indicative of all of this, right? I mean, that's where the change is.
I have to recognize that at the editor-in-chief level,
Yeah.
again, imposter syndrome. That is so weird to say and
It's a
refer
big
to
title.
myself.
You're like Perry White in Superman.
Unreal. It is not the same. What editor-in-chief for me means now is not what it meant for Stephen Reginald when I was starting. We had the blessing, and I think this applies to the larger industry. We talk about, old OR days, and God, we sound old. We talk about old OR days and the way things used to be. Like things are different, right? I mean, you gotta adapt, and I
Undoubtedly. Yeah.
How I would like Gearjunkie to be different, or more like the way we used to do things. What I fail to recognize when I say those things, or I lament the way things are, the landscape. We're going to sink. We can't. Like, if we don't adapt, if we don't do things different, if we don't try and find more money, if we don't throw shit at the wall and sell campaigns to Nissan and shoot sponsored videos that are actually really quite good, we're not going to survive. Like, we have to keep our readers. We cannot. It is a tightrope act. You cannot violate. That's my job. You cannot violate the trust of the readers. All this money, any advertising only exists. They don't love Gearjunkie. They love the eyeballs that are on Gearjunkie. Our commitment has got to be to them. 100%, always. And you cannot violate that. Also, those readers have never had to pay for Gearjunkie. There's a case to be made. It should remain that way because we do cool shit and it should be accessible to all. Totally get it. There's also a case to be made. Dude, the amount of work Rochelle or Brian or Will or Mac put into creating and reporting a story, that shit is far from free. It is hard work. The relationships they build,
they're getting the same
20
second glance that like a gear review about a knife is getting. You know what I mean? Like the same thing, right? And not that the knife review doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying that, but you know what I mean? Like the amount of work that went into the two things.
At best, it takes 2.5 hours. Often, it takes 2.5 days, if not 2.5 weeks or more.
Exactly.
To report those things. So I think it should be free. I also, if people paid for it, we could decouple from the advertising because, again, to bring this full circle, we need the advertising because we need to stay afloat because we are competing with so many other diverse perspectives and so many other channels than we ever have before. We need to do these things. But advertising on the internet is objectively bad, and we've settled for the lowest common denominator. It's like a fucking banner ad.
Right.
A banner ad literally popping up as you're trying to look at something. Who invented, people talk about.
Let's talk about that for a second.
If you go back in time and just slap the shit out of somebody, I would slap the shit out of banner ad guy.
Some guy in Silicon Valley in like 2006.
You need to be removed from the timeline because the future you create, it's just like the Terminator, man. You have got to be stopped.
You know what we could do, guys? We could just put this thing right here. And people will click on it.
What is the one thing people are trying to do? Let's stop them from doing that.
It probably was like a little square, like it was just, we'll put it off to the side. No one will even notice.
It's just like walking into a store with a megaphone and just shouting at people what your brand is. It's like, why? What are you doing?
Don't let our big-time production value and celebrity names fool you. Looking at you, Producer Dave, but Rockfight LLC is a small business and growing brand. And even though we have our own consigliere, he advises on other matters, we've got to consult a lawyer every now and then on the legal structures that every business needs. But for a small business like ours, the cost to hire general counsel or pay a retainer is a non-starter. So what's an outdoorsy founder to do? I mean, come on, we're not flashing that outside money. Enter Conatus Counsel. They can help your business with fractional general counsel and legal services, from strategy consulting to advocacy and government affairs to real-world implementation for outdoor recreation industry businesses. Forrest over at Conatus Counsel has helped Rockfight navigate some of these areas, and let me tell you, knowing someone has your back means you can focus on running your business. I mean, he had at least 3 edits to this read to, quote-unquote, protect us from ourselves. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Forrest cares just as much about the outdoors and the outdoor industry as our listeners. So, got questions? conatuscouncil.com to get in touch with Forrest. The first 6 hours are free. Wait, what? What? I can't say that? Oh, initial consultations are free. Okay, fine. In the store aisles, a quiet revolution is happening. With Endeavor, frontline staff aren't just selling products, they're building trust, making connections, and turning browsers into loyal customers. Let's see how. He didn't know which brand he wanted, just that the trail ahead was rocky. But she knew, because she'd trained for this moment right on her phone. A quick conversation, a confident recommendation, and a perfect fit hiking boot later, he's ready for his trip. That's right, she's a shop floor hero! It may be lunchtime, but between sandwich bites, he learned about fog fighting tech and snow goggles. An hour later, that knowledge helped a customer pick the perfect pair and add a helmet too. Learning on the go, selling with certainty, adding value. Yup, he's a shop floor hero! Endeavor is a mobile-first platform that equips retail staff with training, incentives, and tools to boost sales and brand engagement. Brands gain insights, sell-through improves, while retail associates stay motivated. Ready to get started? Just head to endeavor.io, update your brand profile, and upload your dealer list to access the free features and, when you're ready, launch your first pay-as-you-go campaign. With flexible, scalable options, Endeavor turns everyday interactions into strategic wins. The result?
Be a shop floor hero. Endeavor's here to stay. Shop floor hero. Sell-through is the way.
Anyway.
So what do you think?
Did I make a point?
You made a
I
great
talked
point.
at length. I just don't know
That's what we do
I got.
here. That's why the beauty of the podcast. I guess, what are the opportunities for Gearjunkie? Are there any just obvious things in this kind of new landscape? You're like, hey, if we could, not to let you reveal secret plans for Gearjunkie, but what do you think for a, I guess again, lack of a better term, legacy media company doing what you do in this sort of landscape where these sort of individual voices and mediums are popping up? What are the opportunities?
Yep. I have 2.5 answers.
Okay.
1.5 of them are. One of them is mine. All right. One of them comes from.
How many of these are half baked?
I think these are all good ideas.
Okay, good.
These are all good ideas. We would need. We would need to
we go to part two. We'll have you back
We would
on.
need to partake of some sweet Denver Bud for me to give you my actual half-baked ideas, because I got some weird ideas. But as far as a solid business case, I think people should start subscribing to newsletters. The Gearjunkie has crafted a stellar, and it's not perfect yet, but we are actively adapting it.
And it's getting better too.
It's getting better and better and better and better and better.
It's getting better.
And here's the beauty of a newsletter is you sign into it. The advertising is less intrusive.
Yep.
You get it on a timeline. It's curated for you. It helps us because it's way less volatile than throwing something into the internet and hope it floats.
I agree with this.
So you get to sign on for the content you already like, get it into your inbox. It has far more passive advertising and often more interesting advertising, like with podcasting, right? Like you can make advertising compelling. Again, shout out to Dave and the Fit Socks advertisement was the most entertaining advertisement I have heard in years.
Dude, now he's going to hear this and now he's going to be like, more songs!
Dude, it's so good. So e-newsletters, it has inspired me. I think the hustle was sort of changed the game where newsletters were really an afterthought. Like, hey, here's this hodgepodge of stuff we published previously. Go for it, whatever. We now put attention into it. We think about it. Andrew McLemore writes it.
And the user experience so that
way better.
Right, because if I'm traveling this week, and even if it's in this, if I just don't want to be bothered with your newsletter today because I've got 800 emails, I'll just delete it. I know another one's going to be coming in 3 or 4 days.
You don't have to worry about going to a homepage and scrolling to see if there is a story. Here's the stories. Check it out. Click it if you want to click it, honestly. So I would say e-news is a great opportunity that we're actively pursuing, and we're doing it well, and it's getting better. Selfishly, fucking podcast, dude. I think it is a format that is visceral.
Yeah.
It's just, you can actively listen to it or passively listen to it. You can take it with you on your day. It is cool. Like Rochelle's words and Brian Doerr's words and my words all look the same on a page,
Right.
but our voices sound different, our diction is different, our inflections are different, the way we actually physically tell a story is different. Podcasts unlock that, and we're just hardwired. We're compelled to
And
want
it's your
to listen.
voice in there. You're
Yeah.
usually wearing headphones.
It's
By the
awesome.
way, you and Rochelle on at the same time. We may have to set that up. We got to get Rochelle and
Oh,
you on at
man.
the same time. This could be fantastic. She's been one of my favorite guests to come on the Rock Fight, and she was on Open Container too.
One of the most naturally no bullshit people.
Rochelle's the best.
Okay, so I actually remember where I'm going. So we talked about podcasts. That's 2.
Oh, right.
The half is YouTube, because it's kind of like, obviously, video. Everybody's doing video. How can you not have one? It's not something we've dabbled in it,
Yeah.
and currently, it's no secret. I'm an unabashed ham. Like I love the attention of being on YouTube, but I want to do it in an entertaining way.
Of course. It needs to
And
be entertaining.
Where I disagree with my work wife Sean is like, yeah, you're entertaining and it's funny, but dude, like, who's gonna find it? What are they gonna Google to find that? And Sean and there's more happening in Gearjunkie. If you go to our YouTube page, you'll see it's populating. Just straightforward gear reviews. Like, don't overthink it, dude. Just like, let's do in-depth gear reviews, and that makes sense. They're more dry than I would want to do them if I was making them. But I also
I'm on
get
Team
like,
Ruggiero with this.
yeah,
one.
that's the thing,
Yeah.
dude. Is like everybody,
Yeah.
like, actually, they do
Give
want to
me
know
a
about the
reason.
pack. They don't want to know about your stupid joke or the podcast you like.
We talked about this, and I guess spoilers for anybody who listened to Monday's episode, and then before we get to next Monday's episode, but we mentioned Ortovox's press release this past Monday about their new mountain bike line. And to anyone listening who heard that episode, we have heard from Ortovox. We're going to be talking about it on Monday. But the thing that I said to somebody, I may have said it to you yesterday, of like, actually, this has been interesting having had that conversation about the Ortovox press release and then being in a room with all these PR folks. And I've had this conversation with a couple of times, and they empathize with exactly what we said of like, yeah, it's tough. A lot of times brands will just feed us like 6 bullet points and then say, make it interesting.
Yeah.
And there's a little framework that now there's an expectation to play within. And I said, yeah, look, if they had been like, hey, from Ortovox, did you think you needed another mountain bike line? You didn't think you do.
I see what you're saying.
But
I see
guess
what you're
what?
saying.
Here's a new one. And it's going to be, and if it was something more like tongue-in-cheek, leaning
Yeah.
into the sort of craziness of like another line of mountain bike clothes, I'd probably be more likely to have read it and said, oh yeah, I'll check that out. I'm interested.
Yes,
you know?
but. Yes, but.
No, yes, and.
No. This is a yes, but. That door swings both ways.
Sure.
The number of hyperbolic insoles press releases I've gotten about game-changing insoles. Listen, there's a place for insoles.
The world has
I am
been
not
changed.
the person to test insoles. It will never excite me. I'm not that guy. I have people who will
How
test
did they
them.
change the game?
What game?
Don't you know
I don't
the
understand.
insole game?
That was actually hammered into me by Steven. He's like, if I ever see game changing in one of your stories, you're done. You're done. You delete it from every press
frame
release.
That, if you ever have like
Oh
a
my God.
office in Gearjunkie, put that on the wall.
Dude. So, yes. So,
Okay,
I would say
so,
yes.
yes.
No, I agree with you. Like,
Yeah.
The bullet points are like, well, do your job. Tell me
Yeah.
why I'm excited about
But
this.
that goes back to your point about YouTube. It's like, you're right. I mean, I understand like people aren't going to be like, Adam Ruggiero gear review, but if they stumble onto the channel and you're you, it is similar to a podcast because people come back for the host, they come back for the vibe of the show, which you would then be providing in the videos. So, oh my God, this guy Adam who reviews stuff has another video out. I want to see what he has to say.
It's tough. Our video guy Luke is incredibly talented, and he's a really good. He's really good. He's really polished. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll actually see him because he needs more talent. But he's in LA, so it's like getting me out to LA, doing that. He does advocate for give it some personality, do this.
Yeah.
So, but left to my own devices, I'm just gonna make it 30
Silly.
minutes of me saying stupid shit and like making fun of a pack when really I should be reviewing the pack.
think it works.
Because I have seen so many packs, Colin.
Yes.
I have seen so many packs. They're all.
But have you seen the
packs.
game-changing packs?
Yeah, several times. In fact, every damn one of them.
What's the half?
What's the what?
What's the half?
Oh, well, the half is the YouTube because.
Oh, that's the YouTube.
Because, one, it's no surprise. Obviously, you need a YouTube, but there's a little bit like, if it's just gear reviews.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I would never go to YouTube for a gear review. I'm such a hypocrite. I'd be like, get to the point, man. Like I have to wait
Okay,
for
good
you
point.
to get to the
If
feature.
it's a 12-minute video, I'm not watching it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I can't help it. There's like real time, and then there's microwave time. Microwave time, like 3 minutes in the real world is nothing. 3 minutes in a microwave is like you're pushing it, man.
Oh my God.
3 minutes. Are we?
I just want my mac and cheese.
Yeah. When you're hungry and you got to watch a 3-minute countdown, that's a nightmare.
Watching water
and then
boil.
and microwave time is like YouTube time, right? It's like, okay, if I look at the thing that says 27 minutes, I was like, there's no way I'm watching this book.
I really need to want to watch this. Is like a short film, right? Because I got to see it.
So for gear reviews, it's like, dude, I know what part of the pack I'm curious about.
Yeah.
I got to wait for you to get there. So I would prefer, and that's if you look at the way Gearjunkie's stories and reviews are constructed, we have an in short graph that's just like the basic key takeaways. We have specs and all this. Like the idea being, hey, if you're at REI and you're already looking at this, you don't want to be there any longer than you absolutely need to, like pull it up on Gearjunkie. It gives you just the information you need. If you don't want to read the whole review, you just want to get like kind of the quantitative elements, boom, go, done, have fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to actually head to the show. I guess the just kind of last thing I was going to ask you about was, did you see anything interesting yesterday?
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing?
Shit, I don't know if it was under embargo. Was it? No,
it's not embargo.
No,
okay.
I don't know. No.
We're going to talk a little bit.
I'll talk about one thing.
Okay.
I will say Thule has some really cool stuff. I don't think it's under embargo. It's a cool bike rack.
It'll be on Gearjunkie.
Read about it on Gearjunkie.
Yeah.
But the really cool thing I was excited about, oh shit, I'm going to forget the name of the thing. I think it's called Daylight Computer.
Oh.
They're outside. They're not on the floor.
Okay.
They're from California. And they basically it's like an iPad. They're developing their own operating system, but it's an iPad. It has 0 blue light emission. So it reads like a Kindle.
Oh.
The whole interface looks like a Kindle. You can take notes on it. You can read a book on it. You can go to YouTube on it. It's all monochromatic. If you're reading at night and you up the backlight, it's an orange light. So if you ever looked at like blue blocker sunglasses or something, that's what it looks like.
Okay.
Their whole point is if you're going outdoors, and they identified the outdoors as a market, you shouldn't be locked on your device. One, it should feel like a notebook. And two, it shouldn't be so visually alluring that you're not fucking paying attention to the fact that you went camping. And the display, I'm still fascinated by Kindles. Like I'm like, it's paper, but it's not paper. You know, I'm very easily amused. But they did that with a full tablet. It works just like an iPad.
Okay.
You can have all your apps on it. But visually, it's not meant to keep you there. It's meant to feel like a notebook that does iPad stuff. And they're not developing their own chips yet. It's not as high performance as like an M2 or whatever Mac device, but they're legit. It's bona fide. Yeah. And it's way more robust. I thought it was just going to be like a doodle journal thing, and that's it. But it's any app you want to download, you can use it. But if you're watching YouTube on it, it's monochromatic. Like you can watch it if you want to watch it, but the whole point is not to keep you.
So it will function like more like a tablet.
Exactly.
Like an iPad.
Exactly. But it looks like paper.
Interesting.
It's super awesome. That's what I'm excited about.
All right.
What about you? Before we go, I'm asking you a question. What about you? What did you see?
Probably Kool-Aid coffee. Did you see the Kool-Aid coffee?
I'm going to see him today. Okay. Sean said the same thing. He's like, this is actually really cool.
I guess I'm going to, well, Sean told you about it. So, I mean, it's basically taking, number one, it takes a pod of coffee and makes it so you can do a true pour over in a backcountry setting, right? And I know there are other people who've tried this before. This is clearly a better mousetrap compared to those other ones. It's like a disc, and you put it on top of your mug, and you can just like do a pour over right on top of it, and it's great. But then they also have a kind of Keurig style device for it, which you put the disc in this kind of little holder thing, put your cup underneath, and then there's this like oscillating, like mimics the motion of a pour over, but it pours the water into it and times it perfectly at the right temperature. And I had one yesterday, and it tasted like a really good pour over. And you can do it with your own beans if you want to. You don't have to buy the pod. So the whole thing is,
you can do it with your own beans.
They have like a reusable filter. So if you want to grind your own beans and put it in there,
cool.
Yeah, that's where they had me. I'm like, now I want one of these. Because we do drip coffee in my house mostly, so like my wife and I can each just have like 2 cups of coffee. Otherwise, I would like to make. I'm kind of a coffee nerd. I like to make pour overs and stuff like that. But it's a pain in the ass when it's like 5:30 in the morning and you're trying to make coffee, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. You just like slide the pot in there, or your beans in there, or you grind some beans, throw it in there, and it'll make a little pour over for you. You don't have to stand there like an asshole pouring your coffee, your water for 20 minutes.
Is it going to catch on?
I think the pods. I don't know if the device. Now the device they're looking at, like we're sitting in a hotel room, right? Like I could see that totally being in here, and as opposed to a Keurig. It's definitely a better solution than a Keurig. The coffee will be better, and it's more environmentally friendly. All that, everything's compostable, all of that stuff. I think if I were going to go camping and I wanted to take just some things along for coffee, easy solution for coffee, yes, 100%, because they're thin. You could take it backpacking. You just throw it in your camping, kitchen bin, whatever it is. And if you have, fire up the jet boil, whatever you use, and you get your hot water, you can just make a pour over right there at camp, and it's going to work great. See, I definitely believe in it. I think that's a good.
The fact that you can use your own coffee, that's
the next thing I ask, because it's like, well, if I was going to use this in my house, I definitely would like to use my own beans. Like, we absolutely will have a reusable filter for it. And I'm like, okay, I'm in. It was like $175 for the unit.
Really?
Yeah. And that's the one they're developed for the hotels. They're going to develop one that's going to be a little more expensive for the home, which will have like a big water tank on the back or whatever. So, yeah. I'm curious to see what you think after you see it.
So that's the other thing. OMA, that's actually new, interesting stuff.
That is new and interesting.
And it feels like we've been in this lull for a while.
Which, if there's something that's missing from OMA, I guess this is kind of the last point because we do have to go. It's missing because it's about, I call it about 80% of the open to buy in the outdoor industry, right? It's almost every relevant brand and notable brand in the industry. I don't know how they would work in more emerging brands because who needs PR more than emerging brands? Mm-hmm. Kool-Aid's an example of one of those because they work with CGPR. So that's why they get to show up here. But I would how do we do more of that? But that takes, more PR agencies bringing on some emerging brands, right? Who usually don't have the money to pay for PR agencies. So that would be the one maybe improvement. How do we get that to happen? But I mean, it's probably picking nits at this point because it's such a good event. Yeah. So
Heard. Good time.
Yeah, I mean, hey, thanks for coming on, brother.
I love it.
Let's do this again. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
All right, that's the show. We want your emails. Send them to myrockfight@gmail.com. The Rock Fight's a production of Rockfight LLC. I'm Colin True. Thanks for listening. I'm here to take us out, guys. I'm going to see him next week. 2 weeks from now. Sorry, 2 weeks from now. Chris DeMakes from Less Than Jake. He's here to sing the Rock Fight fight song. We'll see you next time, Rock Fighters.
Rock fight.